Yes, good evening to everybody. Welcome to the today class of the law of tort. And today that I am going to deal the defamation. And please read what I posted on the screen so that I could know that you are with me and I am with you. Both are traveling the same boat and reaching to the destination. Hurry up.
Good evening. Defamation, Professor Dr. M.S. Hussain.
Yes, very good. So let us see that defamation under the law of tort in India. See, we are seeing the defamation, contempt, actionable, denigration, malified, reputation, disrepute, committed, libelous, and deceased. And many other things are you would have seen on the screen. Am I right? Say yes.
Yes, sir.
So let us read the introduction. I would like to see that. Read.
Introduction. Meaning, defamation is injury to the reputation of a person. If a person injures the reputation of another, he does so at his own risk, as in the case of an interference with the property. A man's reputation in his property and, if possible, more valuable than any other property.
Yes.
Any intellectual...
Enough. Okay. Defamation. He said is an injury to what? Reputation of a person. What is the reputation of a person? A dignity of a person. And a person, if you make an allegation stating that you are a rogue, idiot, naturally he is not a rogue and idiot. He is a good Samaritan and well known in the society and is a sane person, educated, respectful, coming from the noble family. And such a person, if you say that he is a thief, naturally it is an allegation. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So they say defamation is injury to the reputation. That is the reputation of a person, means dignity of a person, the position of your status in the person, in the right thinking of the people. If any person injures the reputation of another, means make an allegation, either written or oral, of another, he does at his own risk, means at his own peril. If he does anything about any person, says or writes, you are doing on his own risk. As in the case of an interference with the property. It is like interference with the property, like interference with the body of a person, because the reputation is more than the property, what he says here. A man's reputation is property, and if possible, more valuable than other property. Because man wants his name and fame in India. Not only India, in the world. Man wants his name and fame in the world. What way? At least when he dies, people should remember him. But people should not think that anyway that fellow died, Amma, Indra Babu, Pida Boindi. Say in English. Say in English. That fellow died. Okay, everything is now everything is smooth. Because that fellow is a devil. That fellow is a rascal. That fellow is a hectic. He's a thorn. He's a bushy. He's not at all people like him. That name that you want to get it in the society. After your death, people should remember you. Even you die also. So, any intentional false communication. See, the point here is any intentional. See, the word is used intentional. And moreover, they said also false communication, not the right communication, either written or spoken, that harms a person's reputation. If you say any false communication, either through orally or in the written form, that injures or harms, damages a person's reputation, decreases the respect, disregard the people, him, and he loses the confidence in the people in which a person he helps, or induces a disparaging, hostile, or disagreeable opinion or feeling against a person is called a defamation. See, defamation may be decreasing the respect, using the false allegation, either written or oral, or disparaging a person, or He's a hostile. That fellow is only important fellow. Can you say a person important fellow when he's a married having the children also? What it
No,
class?
sir.
No,
You
sir.
are not supposed to do such a thing. So even that thing also, a person reputation, name and fame and hostile and disagreeable opinion or feelings against a person is called a defamation. అరే వాడు చెక్కరా అన్నారు అనుకోండి, is it a defamation? Actually is not చెక్క. You know what is చెక్క?
Point 5. Third gender.
Yes, Inuk. Chekka means
Third
Inuk,
gender.
third gender. So now, actually, he's not a Chekka. But if you make that fellow as a thing, right? People think that in the right thinking of the people, they think that this fellow is a Chekka. And Chekka only, of course, if you say in Telangana only, we knows. Of course, if you say in Andhra area, in another area, they don't know. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It depends upon the people, those who are using such a terminology. Okay, now let us see that because a defamation varies from place to place, country to country. See, can you say here in India, if that woman is not got married, and if okay, she married only 2 months before, but if you could say that she has given the twins birth yesterday, and if you writes or says to anybody, it's amount to defamation because she married only 2 months back. What is the gestation period?
9 months.
9
9
months.
months. How could you make an allegation over there? But if it's the same thing, if you say in a different country, it is not amount to defamation. It is not amount to defamation at all. Are you married? No. But whose son it is? My son. How could you get the son? Yes, why not? See, I got shocked. Then when do you marry? Okay, we'll marry after some time. When? Okay, later we'll think it. What about your husband? Yes, he's very much comfortable. If I ask the husband, okay, yes, he's my son. When you are making, okay, we can make the recognition later. Are you following me?
Sir.
I say, what do you do so? Then I give the example, one of what the example they have given, please, everybody is here, not a minor here. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I asked
sir.
the girl, what do you have the son or a daughter when you did not get married? I said, I would like to see whether the gun is firing properly or not. What an explanation. I wondered. Then I asked the boy, why you did not get married when you have the wife and of course their partner and the son and daughters and everybody? And that fellow, what is the explanation he has given? I was shocked. I want to see whether the land is fertile or not. Okay, everybody is writing their own explanation. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
I said, when do you make it out? And I got wonder after the 3 or 4 children later, they got married. When they got married, the last son, he was sleeping. Because late night that is. On the stage he is sleeping. So at the time they got married over there. Because that is of course, it depends upon the culture and so on and so forth. So having a children without a marriage is not a defamation. But if you just utter it here in India, it's amount to defamation. Am I right? If you utter, only utter, 2 months back she got married, and if you say that she has delivered the twins, it's amount to defamation. And I don't know how many people are here, Catholic here. There is one Catholic would be there. They are evangelic, and they observe Sabbath. I don't know whether you know it or not. They observe Sabbath, means Saturday at least morning or 12 o'clock to the next day, or even Sunday next day, they don't touch anything. I mean, they don't do the work. Means they will close. They will go to the only prayer. If you observe, if you say a person, he was an angelic, he played the finals or semi-finals on Saturday, it's enough. It is amount to defamation. Because he's a person observing Sabbath. He never play the football on Saturday. Are you following me? Yes?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So that is the tradition would be there, and where the people will make it out. So here, let us see that as what the Scruton LJ defined the defamatory statement as a false statement. See the word they clearly mentioned: a false statement about the man to his discredit. Sir, a man at a woman leda sir ikkada చెప్పండి. Only man can have
Vote
defamation.
included, sir.
Man and woman.
General
Vote
Class
included.
Act 1897 మీకు ఉన్నది ఒకటి, General Class Act, and you will study in the interpretation of the statutes when you come to the third year or second year, second semester. There, if you say man, includes woman. If you say singular, includes plural. So it is clearly mentions over there. So a false statement about a man to his discredit. See, discredit here means not giving a good thing about the man. And it lowers down his status. And that amounts to a, even if you call a prostitute as a prostitute is enough. It is amount to defamation. It is amount to defamation. Everybody knows in the village that she is a prostitute. What is another name for the prostitute? Professor Hussain students will not say the prostitute. They will use another word. Yes. If you don't know it, I told you already. Just to say,
Harlot.
Sir.
Harlot.
harlot. Harlot. Harlot. Or you can say whore. 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 War. You can use such a word because Professor Hussain students will never say prostitute. They will say harlot, or you can say war. So let us come to the point here: criminal and civil defamation. Okay. So defamation may be the two types. One is the criminal defamation and the civil defamation. Let us see what is the criminal defamation. Read. Unmute and read.
Criminal and civil defamation.
Criminal
Criminal
defamation.
defamation. Criminal defamation is the act of offending or defaming a person by committing a crime or offense. For criminal defamations, you
Yes. Okay, there is some disturbance would be there in your reading. Okay, now you mute it. I will read it. You mute it. Criminal defamation, it means a criminal defamation. Yeah, meeting in recording is in progress. Good. So a criminal defamation is the act of offending. See, offending means use a disrespectful word or defaming a person by committing a crime or offense. Means if you say that he committed a rape or any such an offense, or for criminal defamation, you could always get the label liable person or a party prosecuted. It is studied in the IPC as a criminal act. I think it is 499 will say about the criminal defamation in the IPC. 499 and the 500, if I not be mistaken. Let us see it. Then
Yes,
what
sir,
is the
499, 500.
Yes. And people large will be affected over there. Then we can say the criminal defamation. But an individual is affected over there, it is a civil defamation. So civil defamation here, civil defamation involves no criminal offense, but on account of this kind of defamation, you could sue the person to get a legal compensation for your defamation. It is studied under the law of torts, that is as a civil wrong. So now let us see what is a criminal defamation and what is a civil defamation. But in England, if you happen to see libel, means written words, it is a criminal defamation. But the slander, it is a civil defamation. But such a distinction will not be there in India. Either you say in writing or you say in oral. Verbal. Both are the same. If you say prostitute, a war to anybody, if you write a war to anybody, it is having the same impact because there is no such a distinction of the criminal and civil. They say both are criminal offenses or both are civil offenses. But generally they don't say civil offenses, but they say both are offenses. There is no such a distinction. There is no such a distinction, they will say. Yes, it should be compensated. If the individual, if they want to file it, or the state will file it, yes, he will be put behind the bar as well as the compensation will be paid. Both the way. So English law, see in the defamation case, Either you lose also you are having only two pieces, either you win also you are having the two pieces. I don't know whether you got my point or not. Heavy losses would be there. And sometimes they have to run away from their business in the defamation cases. Okay, let us see that in English law, the mainly because of the historical reason, English law divides the actions of defamation into the libel and slander. And here, libel is a representation made in a permanent form, like a writing, movie, picture, etc. That is printed a some advertisement saying why is a bankrupt, why was not thus it was a representation in a specific form. If it is printed over there, or written form would be there, or caricature form, and synchronized form, or photo form, or a movie form, or effigy form. I don't know whether you know what is effigy. Yes, anybody? Effigy or effigy? Tell
No,
me.
sir.
Tell me, or you say just pass on. Why do you waste your time? Yes? Why do you waste
Pass
your
on, sir.
time?
Pass on, sir.
Effigy means జిష్టి బొమ్మని అంటారు. ఇప్పుడు if you want to protest against any person, if you want to protest against any person, you make a photo like him by upholstering. I will show you effigy images. దాన్ని effigy అంటారు. ఇక్కడ చూసారా? effigy చూసారా ఇక్కడ బొమ్మ?
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Dishti bomb.
If you want to protest anybody, they will prepare the effigy of such a nature and they will burn in the center of the street as a protest. So that is called effigy. అది ఎవరైనా కావచ్చు. ఇక్కడ ఎఫిగి మాత్రం చూపెట్టింది ఎవరిది ఉన్నదండి ఇక్కడ? ఎవరిది ఎఫిగి చూపెట్టాడు ఇక్కడ? శ్రీలంక రావణాసురుడి.
Ravanasur.
But in some other place, some people effigy also would be there. So that is called the effigy, which is also in a permanent form. So burning such a thing also, it's amount to defamation. But today a person will file a case against them because they can prove that if the 10 allegations are there, if the 6 allegations are proved over there, that is enough. It is not amount to defamation. So libel is in printed form, and slander is, on the other hand, is a publication of a defamatory statement in a transit form, like a spoken words or gestures, or a question of chastity of me in an interview, or a slanderous. So that is amount to a defamation. So if you ask any woman, are you virgin? It is amount to defamation. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
The same way, if you ask a man also, are you virgin? It is amount to defamation. So now let us see that what is the defamation in one of the English case law. Usurper versus MGM Pictures Limited. MGM Pictures Limited, you would have seen it, MGM movies. Yes? Metro Goldwyn Mayer Pictures Limited. The plaintiff herself is the princess here, and complained that she would be identified with the character of Princess Natasha. So she was identified as the Princess Natasha, having the name of the plaintiff. The film Rasputin, that is the movie, The Mad Monk, that is the movie name, Rasputin, the Mad Monk. On the basis that the film suggested that by reason of her identification with the Princess Natasha, she had been seduced by Rasputin. So she was seduced by Rasputin and she became a loose woman over there, like a whore, and she picturized in the movie. The defendant contended that if the film indicated by a relation between the Rasputin and Natasha, so there is an illegal intimacy between their Rasputin, the princess, and Natasha, and of course name is here is Natasha by the Rasputin. It indicated a rape of Natasha and not a seduction. So in the movie it is said that she will be like a keep. In the movie it is shown. But the point here is, people thought particular name of the person and it is on your name that movie is made, so people are calling it at her. So held in a cinema film, not only the photographic part of it is considered to be the libel, but also the speech which synchronizes with it also. So you can see both vision as well as the audio. So
Audio.
Slessor said that the defamation could include words which cause a person to be shunned or avoided. Not only in the matter of the defamation, it brings the plaintiff into hatred or ridicule or contempt by reason of some moral discredit in the plaintiff's part. So, if any person by the name has picturized as a loose woman having a illegal relationship with another, but it's only the picture having such a name. But the people thought she's really such a character of a woman, so people called to her. So they say in the movies, they say at the time it is a defamation. At the time I am speaking because it is a old case like that. Here I did not mention the year. It is a old case law. At the time, they say it is the amount to the defamation. So that was the thing which is happened over there, where we can say it is the amount to defamation. But in other things, it cannot be said to the defamation. But that is the reason nowadays what they are doing now. If any movie will be seen over there or shown over there, they will keep a disclaimer clause in the movie in the beginning. Do you know what is the disclaimer clause? Can you tell me what is the
Yes, sir.
disclaimer clause?
No
All
persons
characters are
resemble
fictional.
no persons resemble real characters, something like that.
The movie,
All
the
characters are
character
fictional.
shown in this movie are fictitious nature. Any resemblance or coincidence would be there. It is merely a coincidence, and that is the we are not responsible. This is a disclaimer clause is put it over there in the movie. Because of after the UCPFN versus MGM Picture Limited, every movie fellow will put the disclaimer clause. Not only in the movie, even if you write, you will see prescription where the manufacturer writes in brochure, but later on he made the disclaimer clause, use it as per the recommendation by your physician. The disclaimer clause would be put it over there. So this is only a suggestion, legal suggestion, but it cannot be taken as a proof in the court of law if the legal advice will be there. So nowadays, no movie, if a character will be shown real, so it cannot be said to be the defamation. But the UCPFN case like is amount to defamation, but that later on, all the movie makers, they are keeping the disclaimer clause in their movies. So distinction between the libel and slander, the libel is addressed to the eye, while slander to the ear. I don't know whether you got this point.
Yes,
Whether you
sir.
got this point.
Got it, sir.
Yes, tell me what you got it.
That libel means anything that can be seen. Slander means that anything that can be spoken or heard.
Yes, libel in the written form. You can see the written form through the eyes. And the slander is the transit form. This means oral or verbal. That you could hear. Audible. It is one is visible, another is audible. Visible is yes.
Libel. Libel.
Visible is libel and audible is
Slander.
slander. So in English criminal law, only the libel has been recognized as an offense. Slander is no offense. In Indian law, both are criminal offenses under the section 499 and the 500 IPC. What is IPC?
Indian Penal Code.
Indian Penal Code.
What is the abbreviation form? Why you are keeping quiet?
Initialism.
Initialism. Because every word is taken together. I, P, C is initialism because we cannot say attack. We did not say like that. Okay, under the law of words, slander is actionable and libel is inactionable per se. But here in India, both are actionable per se, we can take it out. But in certain cases, of course, still there will be a distinction, we should know it. Because if the libel is actionable per se, a slander, arey, tittina matrane vannadu needana origin the antar. What it means? What it means?
Have you lost anything?
Even if you use the obscene language also, it is enough. It is lowering somebody's status. It is lowering
Somebody's
Other
status.
status.
Yes. So now let us see in the, because in some cases, no, generally we don't say actionable per se, but in some cases in the slander also, yes, it is an actionable per se. You need not to prove it, and you need not to say that something is damaged to you. So DP Chaudhary versus Kumari Manjulata is one of the case law. The plaintiff respondent, of course, in the beginning she is a plaintiff, but later on becomes a respondent. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. When you go for the appeal, no, at the time she will become a respondent, and the defendant becoming a appellant over there. So here the Manjulata is about 17 years of age, belonged to a distinguished family and studying BA. And this was a publication of a news item in the local daily Dainik Navajyoti. Of course, I think it is the north side, I think. Dainik Navajyoti that has night, she ran away with a boy named Kamalesh. But she had gone to attend the night classes. But a story is published in the newspaper stating that Dainik Jyoti, Navajyoti, that Manjulata, she ran away with a, sir, abducted analna, sir, eloped analna ikkada. Evanalandi?
Pass on.
See,
Sir, run away, sir.
boy,
Run away, because she went
boy,
willingly.
girl తీసుకుపోతే ఏమనాలా, girl boy తీసుకుని పోతే ఏమనాలా? Okay, రెండు words ఉన్నాయి. One is abducted, another is eloped. So now she run away. Come on, word, because if you have the confusion, but don't use the confusion word, you can say use the run away. She ran away with the boy, and such an allegation is made in the Dainik Jyoti, but actually she went to the evening classes, in the night classes, remedial classes. The news item was untrue and negligently published with utter irresponsibility, and she was shocked and ridiculed by others because she is a very pious lady and very chastity lady and having that dignity in the home, and she is a God-fearing lady, and she was shocked when such a thing appeared in the newspaper and the people are ridiculing her, and she was lowered down in the right thinking of the peoples, and it was held that the action was defamatory and she was entitled with the worth damages of the, how many sir, 1/10 ఒకట్లు పదులు ఎంత
10,000.
10,000 by way of general damages. How could you make such an allegation that she was eloped with somebody else? When she went for the, అరే గద్దె గిరిందంటే ఇంకోడు ఏమంటాడండి, బర్రె గిరిందంటాడా? ఎస్,
దున్నపోతేనింది.
అది రాజుగారు దుందుపోని అంటారా, దొడ్ల గట్టయ్య అన్నట్టున్నది కథ. ఆర్ యూ ఫాలోయింగ్ మీ? How could you see that a he buffalo will deliver a baby, and at the time the Raju also has, the king also said, okay, tie it in the hut. Okay, that is the things. Yada Raja Tada Praja. Okay, let us come to the man's reputation is considered valuable property, and every man has a right to protect his reputation, naturally. And this right is acknowledged as an inherent personal right and is just in rem against the whole world. The right good against all the person in the world. And defamation refers to any oral or written statement made by a person which damages the reputation of another person. As per the Black's Law Dictionary, then it says defamation means the offense of injuring a person's character, fame, reputation by false and malicious statements. If the statement made is written and is published, it is a libel. Two things, written and is published, then it is a libel. If the definitive statement is spoken, it is a slander. Do you know what is meant by publication here? Sir, tell us, sir.
Yes, sir.
Newspaper last publication, sir.
Pamphlets also.
Media
also, pamphlets also, mass medias లో వచ్చేటి అన్ని కూడా డిఫమేషన్ కు ఎవిడెన్స్.
మున్సిపాలిటీ నల్లదా తిట్టుకుంటాను ఆడోళ్ళు,
అది రాదు.
ఒక్కరిని ఒకరు తిట్టుకుంటాను, అది కూడా అర్థమయ్యేటట్టు తిట్టుకుంటాను. అరే ఆ పోయే పక్కిరాని దగ్గర బండ పెడతా అన్నాడు, పక్కిరోడు విన్నాడు, అమ్మ నేను అలా పోవాలంటాడు, because he wants to use the chance. So now you tell me whether it's a defamation.
No, it is not defamation.
See,
We cannot.
defamation, yes, the they actually they quarrel with the anger there, so they don't make it a defamation. But one thing is very much clear. But we did not have the case law here. But when I was teaching the law in the University of Dar es Salaam, I teach that case law because I know the case law, that is the Swahili case law, because there is a lot of black magic is there. Black magic, you know black magic?
Yes, sir. Chetabadi.
Yeah, Chetabadi ఉంటుంది. And really it is true also in some extent, because people believe it and they will make it true also. So in the black magic, what they said now, and people have made the allegations is a black magic, a king, like a queen. And there is a people, those who are the vice chancellor in the black magic. And she went over there to the vice chancellor of black magic and say, and the vice chancellor asked the certain test put it, no, you don't have any such a black magic power with you. And he gave a certificate and he went away. And she came to the village and she said, people are using the black magic to me, but I went to the king of the black magic over there and he said I did not have the black magic, and she told to everybody in the village. Now the question comes over there. It is she told to everybody, and it is not about to publication. So the publication here means only two persons hear the voice. No, it is not a publication. If third person heard it and understood it, then it is a publication. A third person heard it and understood it, then it is amount to publication. Otherwise, it is not amount to publication. For instance, in the parliamentary proceedings, they use obscene languages. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
They use a very obscene languages also in the parliament. Even they will break the chairs. But it will not come out outside. It will not come out outside. Of course, now the direct TV is there. Now you could see what they are saying also. So parliamentary proceedings, the speaker is having every power to use the language what he wants, and it's not about defamation, because he's having absolute power there. Even a magistrate also having the, I think you are a liar, he says to the witness. No, it is not an amount to defamation, because based on certain statement, he said you are a liar. So why I am giving this thing is, what is publication? We will see it in the ingredients of the defamation. Suppose if I write a letter to you in Urdu, and where I know that you did not know Urdu, whether it is amount to defamation? Answer?
No, sir.
No.
No.
It is yes. It is amount to defamation, because I know that you don't know Urdu. But a man who knows that he doesn't know Urdu and he writes a letter in the Urdu, that man definitely with the curiosity, he will take the letter to the another person and ask him to read. So when another person read it, he got the knowledge of it, what is the content of it. If the content of it is a false allegation, that is amount to publication. Are you following me? Even though you went over there,
Yes, sir.
even though you went over there, I know that you know English. I wrote in English, and that to be a registered post. And your wife is very much doubt on you, and she opened it and read it. Whether it is amount to publication?
No, sir.
Answer no, because it is a registered letter. A registered letter, no one cannot open it except the to whom it is addressed. But if you write a letter, a registered letter to a director or vice chancellor or any magistrate or any other person, definitely he will not open it. His secretary will open it. Are you following me? Say yes.
Yes, sir.
Then even though it is a registered letter, there we can say it is a publication, because the secretary read it. Third person knowing is amount of publication. If not, it is not amount of publication. Suppose if I write a England letter, which is closed one, and if you write to a wife or a husband or anybody, a defamatory matter, again, it will not be amount to publication. But if you write a postcard Yes, tell me. If you write a postcard, why you are keeping quiet?
It is
No, sir.
yes, sir.
Not a
Yes.
defamation.
Whether it is amount to publication or no publication.
No public.
No publication.
Answer is it is amount to publication. Because everybody is having the curiosity. The postman also having the curiosity to read what is it eat. And the person who is stamping over it also he may have certain curiosity. He may read it. Possibility I am speaking. And a person who is sorting
Okay,
the postcard letter in the sorting box also is having the curiosity to read it. When it reaches to destination bag, there the postman, again they will stamp on it. He is also having curiosity to read it. And the sorting man also curiosity to read it. And the man who brings your postcard to your house, also curiosity or tendency would be read it. Whether they read it or they may not read it, that amounts to publication. Because it is a postcard. After sometimes you have to show to your children postcard. So you buy the postcard now and keep it for you. Are you following me? Are you following me?
yes, sir.
Say yes. Why you are not giving the answer to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Always you have to give the answer to me. Otherwise, I told you three stanzas. What are the 3 stanzas? With the pictures I have shown you. What is that? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know, you say pass on. I will give the answer.
Pass on,
Don't
sir.
know, sir.
If I don't get the answer from you, my tongue is tied, my hands are handcuffed, my legs are ఫోటో
Pass on.
తీసి చూపెట్టాను ఫోటో వేసి చూపెట్టాను మీకు అది
Don't know.
ఫెట్టర్డ్ FETTERD చిన్న గొలుసుతోని దగ్గర కట్టడం. I have shown you in the picture also, movie, that image also. Handcuffs images I have shown you. Tongue images I have shown you. The leg images also shown you. Because there would be an impact would be there, audio visual impact would be there on you. But I found the impact is very less on you unless until you show at least 3 or 4 times. So repeat the 3 stanzas.
Tongue is
My tongue
Tongue
is
is
tied.
tied and hands are cuffed, legs are fettered.
Yes, that is the thing. If I don't get the answer. Okay, level eye, as I told you that it is addressed to the eyes. Another slander, it is addressed to the
ears.
next read.
The defamatory statement is made in some permanent and visible form, such as writing, printing, pictures, and effigies.
నేను
The
చెప్పానా
defamatory
ఎఫిగి
statement,
నేను ఎఫిగి అని చెప్పానా లేదా?
yes, sir,
sir.
effigy.
Yes, sir.
Effigy is a singular, effigies is a plural. Okay, write the liber slander right. This
The defamatory statement is made by spoken words or some other transitory form, whether visible or audible, such as gestures, bissing, or such other things.
even hissing also, even it can be heard and we cannot see it. Or gestures also we can see it, it cannot be heard, but it comes in hissing and hooting also, it's amount to defamation. For instance, if the class is going on over there, if the backbenches students make the hissing and hooting intentionally, that is amount to defamation to a teacher. Okay, next, read this one.
It is an
Yes, sir.
actionable tort as well as a criminal offense. It is a
Yes,
civil
sir.
injury only and not a criminal offense except in certain cases.
Okay,
It is actionable per se, that is without proof of actual damage.
okay.
It is actionable only on proof of actual damage.
Yeah, these are the certain distinctions that will make it out. But in India, both are criminal wrongs. So let us see the elements of defamation. What are the elements of defamation will be there? Number 1, the statement should be made. Is it a wrong statement? Is it a false statement? Is it an intentional statement? Is it a truth statement? Okay, let us presume it is a truth statement. Okay, I agree. Who asked you to say the truth statement? Tell me. Tell me. If any government authority asked you to say, okay, you can say. Or you are bound to say, okay, you can say. But keeping a large, long stool in the forecrossed areas and standing over there and making so-and-so Raja or so-and-so the woman is a prostitute. Why do you want to make such a statement in the crossroad? What is the intention of it? Do you think that the intention is nobody should marry her? Or whether you can say that she is having the HIV and AIDS? In case she is having HIV and AIDS, what is the purpose of canvassing? In case if she is having, right, can you publish it in the photograph in the newspaper with her name? Tell me.
No, sir.
Answer
No, sir.
No, sir.
Answer no. So here the statement can be made by the words either spoken or intended to be read, or by signs, or by visible representations. Or for example, A is asked to stole B's diamond ring, and A points to C, intent to cause everybody to believe that C stole the diamond ring. This is a defamation. Are evarra donga? Sir, what you petted no Hanigaru? And actually it is not he. It may be somebody else. But still it is enough. Because you are making a criminal charges over her or him. Criminal charges. What is the criminal charges? Stealing. Yes, it is a defamation. On the number 2, the statement must be referred to the plaintiff. Means it should be referred to a particular person. Suppose if I gave the statement to you, I will ask you whether it is amount to defamation or not. Be ready. All liars are liars. Tell me now. I repeat.
No
All
defamation.
liars are liars. Tell me whether it is amount to defamation.
No defamation, sir.
Why?
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir.
Why it is not amount to defamation?
Because you are not mentioning a particular person, sir.
It is not referred to a particular person. It is a group of
Yes, sir.
persons.
Yes, sir.
Number 1. Number 2, it is a generalized statement. It is a
Generalized statement.
statement. It is a fair comment. It is a fair comment.
Fair comment.
So we cannot make it out. Adi okati cheptaru. I don't know. Sorry if anybody is there. I am not hurting anybody's feeling. Sau dalal is equivalent to 1 kalal. I don't know whether you got my point.
No, sir.
Okay, I will give that. Sau dalal means a broker. Dalali jettar kada ade dalal jettanu gadra antanu చూడండి తెలుసు కదా.
Yes, sir.
100 dalal is equivalent to 1 kalal. అంటే 1 kalal అంటే ఎవరు తెలుసా? గౌడు. Are you following me? No, it is a statement. See, that's why I told you that it is a fair comment. It is. So, dalal is equal to 1 kalal means one should not believe the kalal. He said, "Sir, kallu ippudu dimpina sir antadu." Are you following me?
Okay, sir. I got it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is a statement. I don't know. So now let us see. See, it is not a amount to defamation. What I want to say is another statement also there. Can you say it is a defamation? बापन की गली और मुसलमान की चूल्हा बहुत खराब रहता అంటే బాపన వల్ల గల్లీ అంటే ఏది వాడు పప్పు తింటారు కదండి మొత్తం అది నెంబర్ 2 వెళ్ళిపోతాడు అన్నట్టు అక్కడ బట్ the Muslims know cleanliness, especially kitchen, now they will cut this one, they will cut that one, all messy would be there. So it is a generalized statement. It is not amount to defamation, what I want to say. So here the statement must refer to the plaintiff. The defamatory statement must refer to the person or class of persons or the trustee of your company, or the reference may be expressed or implied. It is not necessary that the plaintiff has to be mentioned by name. Okay, one thing is very much clear. We need not to mention by the name. The tall person in this bar is a criminal. This liar. Only one would be the tall. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, unko same equivalent.
Yes, sir.
Very rare case it will be there. So it is name is not mentioned, but you mentioned the characteristic. By the characteristic, one can say that he is the so-and-so person. So if he can still be recognized, the person referred to the defamatory statement can be living or dead, doesn't matter. Because even a dead person having also dignity, because it is having impact on their children. However, defamation suit on behalf of the dead person can be filed only if the person filing the suit has an interest. Yes, why not having the interest? If the father died over there, if somebody say, and your father, you people are the bastards, and your father means it is having the impact on you. At the time, definitely that you will file a case because it is an impact on you. Because he's made an allegation to your father, and if the father is no more, that is equally reflects to you. So this is the second statement, and the third essential ingredient is the statement must be defamatory. That means it should not be truth.
Plaintiff.
It should not be truth. So
Okay,
the
sir,
statement must be defamatory. Here, defamation starts with someone making a statement, and any person who make a defamatory statement generally is a false statement and merely allegation, and can be held liable for the defamation. Even the truth also, if you want to say, he are not supposed to say unless until there is a need for the public necessity. A defamatory statement tends to diminish the good opinion that others hold about the person, and it has a tendency to make others look at him with a feeling of hatred, ridicule, fear, dislike. Abusive language may also be defamatory. For example, to call a person a hypocrite or a habitual drunkard. Yes, it's about defamation. A few illustration to understand what is defamatory and what is not. To say a motorist drives negligently is a defamatory. To criticize goods is not a defamation. Because of the goods, if he says that he always sells the bad goods, means it's a defamation, because generally he will not sell the bad goods. To say that the baker's bread is always unwholesome is a defamatory statement, because it is very clearly shown who is the baker. To state that a person has not the degree of skill which he holds himself as possessing is a defamatory statement. Suppose if a person who is well versed, a person who studied regarding the bone is called bone specialist. What do you call the bone specialist?
Orthopedist.
Orthopedic surgeon or orthopedic. So if he doesn't have the orthopedic surgeon, certificate, if you make a dupe, a quack, and if the quack is a truth, yes, it is not a more defamatory statement. But if he is having a degree, but if you say that, make an allegation, he doesn't have the degree, and if he is having the fake. Yeah, it is the Indian tradition that in the beginning or the ending of any program that we will make the play of the national anthem. Now the national anthem will be.
विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा। जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।